There's some research around to suggest that human beings only ever achieve about 10% of their potential. Do you have any thoughts on why you believe this might be the case? Well, where's the instruction manual? Where is it in your life that you will give an instruction manual as to how to get the best out of yourself? What I'd like this video to do is to be the introduction into that manual. And what I'd like to do now is just share with you some thoughts about how we actually process and store all of our communication. This actually comes from the world of neuro-linguistic programming. It's the NLP communication model. Ultimately, what happens at an unconscious level is that we have about 2 million bits of information coming into our nervous system every second. And in 1956, an American psychologist by the name of George Miller wrote a paper called 7 plus or minus 2. And what this paper actually suggested was that our conscious mind can only handle 7 plus or minus 2 bits or chunks of information at any one time, and we filter out the rest at an unconscious level and without being consciously aware that we're doing so. What we filter out is based on a certain set of internal processing filters. So we delete, distort and generalise the information coming in based on a certain set of internal processing filters. Now, before I talk about what those internal processing filters are, let me first talk you through what deletion, distortion and generalisation actually means. You see, our brain acts like a camera. Two people go to a party and both of us would have completely different recollections of what that party was about. So we're actually deleting information. We also distort information. So anytime we hallucinate, we imagine or we visualise, we're actually utilising the process of distortion. And some of you would have had the experience where you've walked into a room and as soon as you begin to imagine that the room is blue rather than white, then we're actually utilising that process of distortion. And we also generalise information. So we'll take a couple of, say, bad experiences and then we'll generalise that to say, I'll never be any good at public speaking. I'll never be a good financial advisor. So we delete, distort and generalise based on a certain set of internal processing filters. Now these filters are common to everybody, but the content that makes up those filters is different because we're all individuals and we've all had different life experiences. The first of those filters, which is the most unconscious, are our meta programs. These are context dependent and they ultimately let us know how people get motivated. The second most unconscious filter are our values, the primary motivating force behind absolutely every single one of our actions. These are how we determine what is right from wrong and good from bad. Do you move toward what you want or away from what you don't want? If you move away from what you don't want, how many times a day do you focus on what you don't want? And then of course we've got beliefs, which are ultimately the on-off switch to what we can do in the world. Because if we don't believe we can do something, then the chances are we probably can't. Attitudes, collections of values and beliefs around a certain subject. And the last two internal processing filters are our memories and our decisions. Now there's some psychologists that say that our reactions in the present are actually not reactions to what's happening right now, but they're actually reactions to collections of memories and things that have happened to us in the past, a gestalt, a collection of memories. And they can deeply affect our personality and also our perceptions. And the last internal processing filter are our decisions. Decisions about who we are and what we're capable of doing, and in particular, decisions that have been made at an unconscious level and that perhaps are limiting, can often lead our life down a road that we didn't originally anticipate. So all of the information coming in is deleted, distorted and generalised based on all of those processing filters. That will then determine what information is retained, and our brain will create an internal representation of that event, so a picture, a sound, perhaps some feelings or some internal dialogue, some conversation. It will combine with our physiology, so the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we hold ourselves. It will create an emotional state of mind, and then that will drive absolutely all of our behaviour. You see, anything in life can be fulfilling if you know how the game works. All we need to do is organise the game how we need it.